Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sam from the Knees. Sorry, my cat's tail is in the way. I wanted to do this video because I've had a lot of people asking me questions, messaging me, and I just felt that I needed to update everyone. I'm sorry, I'm super upset by this. I haven't talked about it since it happened, so a couple weeks ago, some woman messaged me, said she had 2 guinea pigs that she didn't want to keep anymore, and asked if she could drop them off. I have never turned down a guinea pig until after this happened. So, of course, I said, yes, bring them over. That's fine. So she brought them over, and being a rescue and having guinea pigs come in and out all the time, I tried to be very careful in where I'm putting them, making sure that I check them out, that they aren't with other guinea pigs that are already here, just to make sure that nothing happens, no one gets sick, that kind of thing. The guinea pigs she brought me were 2 males. They were both very young. When she dropped them off, I noticed that one had a very large lump on his neck, the size of about a golf ball. It's huge. And I was like, hey, did you notice this? Like, and she said, oh, no, I don't play with them much, so I guess I just missed it. So I said, okay, well, it's fine. We'll keep an eye on it. I personally have, I've had MRSA in the past, and I got hair in my mouth. I've had MRSA in the past, and so it's in my body now. Anytime I get a little cut or a little scrape, it gets infected, and so I had my boyfriend help me, and I held him, and I looked at him, and it looked like that's what it was. So I was like, okay, well, we'll keep an eye on it. If it doesn't go down in the next day or so, we'll take him to the vet, get him checked out, that kind of thing. Okay. So, a couple days went by, and it looked like it was going down a lot. It looked like it had popped. So I was like, okay, it was probably an infection. It's probably going down. The swelling was going down substantially. It was getting better. He was eating. I was like, okay, cool. He's good. We're going to let him heal. Everything's going to be good. Okay. So this was 2 or 3 weeks ago now that she dropped them off. Okay. And then not this past week, but the week prior. So he had been here about a week. He was getting better. He looked good. He was eating. He was fine. And I come out one day, and he's dead. And it was a bit of a shock because he was doing so well. So I was like, oh no. Like, I figured maybe the infection had spread to his lungs and we couldn't see it. So I was like, okay. So I took him, and we put him in boxes. I've had a couple guinea pigs pass away, obviously, in the past because of old age or sickness or whatnot. So I put him in a box, and I was like, okay. And he had a cage mate, and he was a baby. He was like not even a year old, and he kind of stopped eating, and I thought, well, maybe he's sad, maybe he's lonely, because that happens. I have several guinea pigs that if they're separated from their partner for even a day or two, they won't eat. And so I was like, okay. Well, I have this giant fluffy boy named Edward. He's a big fluff ball. He looks like one of those fluffy caterpillars. And then I have a baby boy named Tweedle. So Edward's kind of been like fostering him and caring for him. So I thought, oh, well, I'll put this guy, his name was Murphy. I was like, I'll put Murphy in with Edward and Tweedle, like they'll get along great. So I put him in with them and didn't think anything of it. And the little one had been fine. He passed away. The other one passed away, and a couple days went by, and like he wasn't eating much, but like I figured that's just because his friend died. So I put him in with the others, and I came out. That was probably a week later. So this was this past weekend. So it's been a total of 3 weeks that this has all happened. So his friend died. He was with Edward for about a week. And he had been acting great. They were playing together. They were cuddling. Everything was fine. And I came out on Friday evening. And I had checked on him that morning. He was fine. And I came out and he had blood coming out of his nose and mouth. And his back legs weren't working. And I pulled him out of his cage and like held him and called my boyfriend because I was freaking out. Called him downstairs, and within 10 minutes he was gone. So we thought, okay, that's not good, because if one passed away and then this cage mate passed away, you know, that probably means there was some type of sickness that was going on that was more than we saw. Okay, so I was like, okay, well, we'll kind of quarantine them, the Edward and Tweedle, because they had been with them. So I was like, we'll quarantine them and make sure that nothing happens. Oh, I've always been pretty good about making sure that all the guinea pigs stay separate, but I never thought about like their water bottles or like swapping food dishes or whatever. I didn't think much of that. I think that a water bottle got swapped because I came out on Sunday and Sadie, one of the girls that we just got who was pregnant, she had 2 stillborns, and then she had passed. And someone gave her to me with 2 boys. They didn't realize that there were 2 boys. They thought it was all 3 girls. And I was like, no, you have 2 boys and a girl, but she's pregnant. And she was actually in a video just a couple days ago with me. But I kept her in with the 2 boys because I figured she wasn't very close to having the babies. It was going to be another month at least. And so I figured I didn't want her to be alone until she got closer. So I had her in with them. And so she passed away, and then I discovered that the boys had 2 tiny little lumps on their neck. We did some research. Unfortunately, this all happened over the weekend, and it all happened so sudden. Sadie was not, she was not showing any symptoms or any signs of anything. She was running around. She was happy. She was just, and then the next day, she was gone. So this was all this past weekend. So we did some research, and we think it may have been what's called, referred to as zoo strep. Basically, it's caused by bad food, bad water, some type of bad thing causes an infection, which I think the ones had when they were brought here. And my guess is she wasn't feeding them veggies like she was supposed to, because vitamin C deficiencies can also cause it. My guess is they weren't getting the food that they needed, they weren't getting the nutrition that they needed, and one got sick and caused the other one to get sick. Apparently, it's super contagious. We were reading a story about a dog kennel that got it, and it killed every single dog. And there wasn't much warning either. It was just one day the dogs were fine, and then the next they were dead. So I have quarantined everyone. They are all in my temporary cages. We are using the bedding, like the shavings. I'm sorry. We are using the shavings that have been donated here because I have a ton of extra, because I use fleece. So we're using that. I have soaked their water bottles and their food dishes in rubbing alcohol because that kills everything. And I let that dry for 24 hours and then rinsed it off. Their water bottles are now filled to the brim with vitamin C drops. They're getting double the veggies that I normally do. They're getting lots of hay. So far, no one else has passed. But for those of you who are messaging me asking if you can adopt or asking if you can drop off guinea pigs, I have put out a temporary hold on everything because I don't want to give someone a guinea pig who's sick, and I don't want to take guinea pigs who may be sick or who may get sick. I have had guinea pigs for 10 years, and I've never had this happen. So I am very distraught and upset. Obviously, I'm trying not to get upset. It was horrific. But I wanted to let you guys know, I'm not trying to keep the guinea pigs from you. I'm not trying to turn you down if you need help. If you have guinea pigs that you need to get a home for and you don't have any other choice but to come and drop them off at the rescue, I promise I'm not trying to turn you away. I have never turned down a guinea pig. I just would like to wait a couple weeks because I want to make sure that my pigs are okay first before I bring any new ones in. Because after this, I honestly am so scared to bring in others. I have never been the type of person to keep the guinea pigs all together in a giant pen. I've always had them in their separate pens. I've always had their own stuff for this reason. But things happen. So I just wanted to let you guys know this. I'm sorry I'm so upset. It was horrifying. For those of you who are considering breeding your guinea pigs, please know that sometimes pregnancy does not go well. It is very hard when that happens, and you have to be mentally prepared. And if you're not mentally prepared for something like that, don't breed. Don't breed. There are tons of guinea pigs in the world that need homes, and it's not worth it. So, yeah. I'll probably let you guys know. I'll keep you posted on my Facebook page when they are out of quarantine. But for now, also the zoo strep can affect every animal, and I also have 2 dogs and a cat, so I'm also freaking out.
So yeah, that's what's going on. I hope you guys are doing okay. I hope you have a good day. I hope I didn't bring you down too much. I'm sorry if I did. I've waited a few days to do this, but I just really wanted you guys to know what's happened, and what's going on, and maybe how you guys can prevent that in your own home. Guinea pigs are rodents. No matter how much we love them, that is the species or the type that they are. They are rodents, and they have, they are carriers for a lot of infectious diseases that aren't very common, but can really hurt people and animals alike. So please be mindful of that. Also, please be mindful if you're going to get a pet. Do not get a pet if you don't plan on keeping that till it dies. I don't care how much work it is. I don't care how long it takes you, every day to clean their cage. I don't care. If you're getting a pet, you will keep that pet till it dies, or you don't get a pet. Okay. I hate this. I hate that people drop off their pets and then I have to be the one to watch them pass away, or I have to be the one that has to care for them. I don't know who that is, so they can go away. But please just think about it before you get a pet. Okay. Bye.